breaks up with her husband. This was your drama of the. Oh, I haven't been in any drama of the day. What's this? But I say Cap hasn't.
It's like that's I don't know.
I had no idea that they actually
6 years ago
paid players to top.
You were so
Yeah, they want to
out
get
of
their
the
name out
loop
there.
for a Yugi Chuber, you know that?
You said what, Glasgow?
You are so out of the loop for a Yugi Chuber.
No, I mean,
Like, you don't know anything, like, about, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! It seems. Like, what the hell?
toxic.
Talking about, I know the important stuff. I mean, dude, you're just talking about the competitive side. That's like not that important when it comes to Yugi tubing.
I was like waiting for John to like have a heart
What the
attack.
hell? Wasn't that funny, was it?
That's
Yeah,
what
like-
everything revolves around. That your biggest video is the World's Tournament, not meta. Your biggest
Not true, by the way. Not anymore.
video
My
is
top
a
tens
take.
do well too. You know that.
Top.
Okay, whatever that was. I tell you. Wait. Jib says, "I'll tell you this. To this day, oh my." Wait, I'm sorry. What was the what was like the point? What was like Farfetch was? No, I'm genuinely lost. Like, what is not Dragon Ball, but like what is the like overall point of this, or what point of?
It's like that's
I don't really get this. Like, what is like the overall point? Blue Eyes is super casual. It just so happens to be meta at one time. You don't understand competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! You're out of touch. Out of time. That's literally not okay. So you're saying I don't understand competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, right? So how was I able to play in the competitive meta last format and achieve a top at a regional then? While playing against meta decks. Now it'd be one thing if I was like, yo, I played against Fluffles round 1 and Amazement round. I only played against like meta decks. So like, what do you mean that I'm out of touch? Like what? I did a meta analysis on YCS Vegas. I have topped recently. Not that long ago, like 3 months ago or something like that. So like, I don't feel like that. Got baited into drama. Regionals isn't the bar for it is what's the bar, chat, for the average Yu-Gi-Oh player? What is the bar for a quote unquote competitive event? What would you guys set the bar at for an average Yu-Gi-Oh player? Not the top 1%. Cause like Jib likes to think, oh well, you know, would Chris LeBlanc consider like, okay, but that's the top 1%. The 3 YCS a year? No, I mean what level of event, Dolan? Not how many events should you go to? Like what level of event? The average Yu-Gi-Oh competitive player, is it competitive? What? That doesn't make sense. I didn't say the average Yu-Gi-Oh player. I said the average competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player. Now, if you're saying that the average competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player isn't even competitive, then we can't even agree on a baseline, Jabril. If we can't even agree on the definition of like a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player, then we can't even have a conversation. It's regionals for sure. Okay, there we go. That's the exact answer I was looking for. Like the answer I was looking for is regionals. Why? Because regionals in certain places. Are you guys aware they just had an 800 person regional in Mexico, chat? 800 people, and you're telling me like it's objectively easy to top a 10 round event? Is that what you guys are telling? Oh, Cap, it's totally easy to win 10 rounds in a row. Like, no, it's not. Like, you're even if you play for the first 2 rounds, just some bullshit, which is not even likely. Like, you do have to play 8 more rounds, and chances are you can only lose once and be guaranteed a top. Like, going 9-1's not easy. It's incredibly hard. So, a YCS top is not like, that's not the barometer of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Jib. It never has been. Like, the barometer has always been like regional. So, what are you talking about? So, I feel like I have met the threshold. So, you know, YCS is, and honestly, is it not even more ironic, chat? When was the last time that Farfa or John Moore topped anything? I mean, John hasn't topped a Yu-Gi-Oh event probably in a decade. Because I don't think he's played in a real life event in like at least a decade. Farfa probably in like the last 5 years, but I topped in the last format. So, you know what I mean? I feel like if this was going to be a gotcha moment, this is probably a gotcha moment for like 7 years ago, but it's not really applicable now. Anyways, there's no difference between remote regionals and regular regionals. It's the same thing. Unless you're applying like someone's cheating, which I didn't cheat. I mean, how can you cheat with Runic Stun at remote regionals? Like, what's the advantage? Like, like, it makes sense, chat, if you're playing some big combo deck and you can like stack your hand, but I was playing a stun deck. Like, how do you stack your hand with Runic Stun? Every card is just a flood. Like, every other card is just a floodgate. And I play like 15 of them, so I'm gonna draw some of them. Like, I don't know. Anyways, this is Jib just brainwashed to believe that winning a YCS only matters because of his recent success. I agree. Regionals aren't the bar, says Soza. Farfa top nationals with Sword Soul. Okay, but national season would have been... Well, first off, come on. What is it? Farfa lives in, what, Scotland or something like that? Press 1 if Scotland National is such a prestigious event. All 18 players. Yep, all 18 players with their bagpipes and beer or whatever the hell they have. Yes. Truly a prestigious event. Scotland Regionals. I don't know, man. The Nats that I go to, the NAWCQ be having like 2,000 players. Like, you hating? It's freaking Irish regionals. What are we talking? Scotland Nationals. What are we talking about? It's literally a regionals. Maybe, but our regionals are still better though. So there you guys go. UK whatever, chat. Whatever. Anyways, Pokemon regionals get 2,000 to 3,000 players, says YRG. Okay. What's up, YRG? Are you a streamer? Looks like you... Okay, I was going to say, I don't recognize that logo, but it looks like you went to TwitchCon. Jib still hasn't answered the question of what the bar is, a.k.a. Team World. Are you the Team Whirlwind, the two black dudes from like 5 or from a long time ago? Yeah, and Jib, you have not answered like what the bar is. What is the bar for a competitive player then? Like, what is the level of event you need to top to consider yourself like a competitive player, or to consider yourself someone who knows about the competitive meta? If you say it's a YCS, Jib, you're absolutely full of baloney. That's bollocks. It's what are some other words? It's poppycock. That's what it is. It's nonsense. It's poppycock. We have 3 YCS a year, says Dolan. I mean, no, Dolan. In the United States, we have more than 3 a year. I mean, we have Vegas, Richmond, and Raleigh for the first half of the year. They're going to have more YCSs in the second half. Jib, just because you're better at the game, don't you? Exactly. Jib, you can't say, like, that Apex is world. All right, I'm just... Press 1 if Jib is just on some nonsense right now, chat. Just because you're, like, objectively better at Yu-Gi-Oh! Than me does not mean that I don't know competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like, well, because I'm better at the game than you don't know about competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! It'd be one thing, chat, if I was like, I have no idea what Snake Eyes Popular is. I don't know what this Snake Eyes deck or Fire King, or what do these voiceless voice cards do? Is like, no, I know what all these cards do. Just because I don't play the decks doesn't mean I don't know them. You know, I did say, chat, that Voiceless was a good deck and that some people were stupid for calling it mid. And then shockingly, it had the 3rd most representation at YCS Vegas Top Cut. Isn't that funny? Almost like it's the 3rd best deck of the format. Interesting. But someone was calling it mid, and you know, then after the results came out, they were just like, I'm just gonna ignore this. Do you hear yourself? Jib, I'm just going based on the 3rd most it wasn't in the top 16. Its representation was 20% or something. I had it calculated in my video. It wasn't 2% because it was 5. It was like 5 players. 5 out. Hold on. Let's do the math. The top 16 is 48. No. Top 16. Maybe it is 48. I don't know, but it was what's it called. Snake Eye took over 50% of the top cut. Well, when you say Snake Eye, you mean Snake Eye Fire King and Snake Eye combined. I mean, even if so, that doesn't change the equation of what the 3rd most represented deck was, Jib. Like, even if something takes up 50%, like, what's the other 50%? Or are you telling me the other 50% like doesn't exist? Because either the other 50% existed and it's other decks, or there is no other. It does? Okay, then what are we talking about? You know what I mean? I think if you play on DB Grinder, you are competitive. You are competitive if you play on DB Grinder. Press 1 if that's the standard, chat. Be on a DB Grinder replay and you are competitive. Which, by the way, I've been on DB Grinder's channel 4 times. I think maybe 5 actually. I think I've only lost once on DB Grinder's channel. Yeah, I've been on DB Grinder's channel like 4 or 5 times. Or no, probably more than that. Probably about 5 or 6 times. I've only lost 1 time. So it was in a tournament quarterfinals, and because the bozo that I was playing, this was in like Sword Soul, like that format, chat, the Burst of Destiny format, when Protoss was still legal, and like Tri Brigade Bird, that was like the best deck, that and like Sword Soul. And he made a turn 1 board to specifically counter Eldritch, which was whack. I don't know how he figured out I was playing Eldritch, but he knew what I was playing, and yeah, he made a board to like specifically counter Eldritch, because he didn't summon the Wind Barrier statue. He summoned like something else. So it was what it was.